T-Rex had 60 teeth, Ankylosaurus had 0. Fossil evidence proves Ankylosaurus won more fights than it lost. 66 million years ago, the Hell Creek Formation, Montana, the most dangerous 4 square miles on Earth. Something is coming, the ground knows before you do. 8 tons, moving. Not a predator, not a prey animal, something the Cretaceous world built for a completely different purpose. Defense, total, absolute defense. 30 feet long, 8 tons, and not 1 square inch of that 8 tons was easy to kill. T-Rex made this footprint. The Ankylosaurus is standing in it, different sizes, different strategies, both apex, both unkillable in their own way. Every step, 8 tons of armored certainty. No hurry, nothing in the Cretaceous world required this creature to hurry. The head, surprisingly small, the eyes, surprisingly intelligent. Even the eyelids are armored, evolution left nothing unprotected. At night, the armor still works. The darkness changes nothing. The armor was never designed to need daylight. This one plate, 5 inches of solid bone, not attached to the skeleton, embedded directly in 3 inches of skin. The armor floats on the creature. It cannot be pulled free. Look at this from above. Every surface covered, every angle protected, every approach made impossible. This is not random biology. This is the result of millions of years of being hunted and surviving. Between the plates, 3 inches of skin, tough enough to stop most bites before they ever reach the bone beneath. The armor has 2 layers. Most predators never reach the first one. One surface, no armor, 18 inches from the ground. To reach it, a predator would need to flip 8 tons. No predator in Hell Creek was ever built for that. In the right light, the armor becomes something else, not just defense, art, 66 million years of evolution made beautiful. The bony eyelid, unique in the history of life on Earth. The creature evolved to protect even the moment of a blink. No detail, left undefended. £60, solid fused bone, 2 feet across, the most devastating natural weapon in the history of the Cretaceous world, and it was used. The fossil evidence confirms it. The tail behind the club, not flexible, fused vertebrae, interlocking tendons, a rigid beam designed to transfer 100% of the swing force to the club tip. No energy lost, no flex allowed, only impact. Watch this, 10 meters per second, 360 megapascals of impact force at the end of this swing, enough to fracture a T-Rex tibia. The science proved it. This bone, a T-Rex fibula, this mark, the impact depression of an Ankylosaurus tail club 66 million years old. The battle happened. This is the proof. Two feet of solid fused bone, 60 pounds, swung at 10 meters per second at a T-Rex leg. The mathematics are straightforward. 2009, Victoria Arbour calculated the exact force, 360 megapascals, the answer that paleontology had been asking since 1906. She found it. Born without armor, completely soft, completely vulnerable, the most armored creature in Earth history, spending its first days in the same condition as everything it would one day be invulnerable to. The first steps, already the wide stance, already the low center of gravity, already the body plan of the most armored creature that will ever live. Instinct doesn't forget what evolution built. 6 months old, the armor beginning to push through, tiny buttons of bone emerging from the skin, the transformation from the most vulnerable to the most armored, already beginning. Full size, for the first time, 30 feet, 8 tons, complete armor, the product of millions of years of evolution, standing in the Hell Creek Formation, sun, for the first time as everything it was always meant to be. The most armored creature in Earth history, choosing to stay close to its parent. Even armor learns from observation, even invulnerability begins as a student. The first meal, every day, the armor doesn't feed itself. 8 tons of bone and muscle requires 8 tons of food. The tank needs fuel every morning. The most armored creature on Earth, crossing a river, the tail club elevated, the belly nearly touching the water. Even the invulnerable must negotiate with physics. The dust bath, removing parasites from the skin between the armor plates, the one place the armor cannot protect itself, the tiny gap that requires this enormous creature to roll in the dirt. Even in sleep, the armor active, belly to the ground, every armored surface facing outward. the most vulnerable moment of any creature, transformed into the most defended position in Cretaceous North America. Moving together, 20 feet between each, the tail club radius, a formation that no predator in Hell Creek was willing to test. The armored herd, the most impenetrable moving object in 66 million years. In the still water, the armor reflected perfectly. Two worlds, above the surface, the most defended creature that has ever lived. Below, its mirror image, equally perfect, equally unbreakable. The most recognizable silhouette in North America, 66 million years ago, the armor plates, the shoulder spikes, the tail club oval against the sunset, still walking, always walking. T-Rex, the most famous predator in Earth history, detecting the most armored prey in Earth history, the calculation beginning. This encounter, the fossil evidence confirms, actually happened. Watch the approach, slower than normal, lower than normal, the predator calculating angles, the angle that avoids the tail club arc. The problem, there is no such angle. The response, immediate, belly to the ground, legs splayed, tail club active. The creature has become a low, wide armored platform with a wrecking ball at the rear. Try to bite it, try to flip it, try anything. The T-Rex bites, the armor unmoved. 5 inches of bone embedded in 3 inches of skin. The greatest bite force in North America, applied to a surface it cannot penetrate. The scratches on the fossil prove this happened. "360 megapascals at the T-Rex leg. In this fraction of a second, the most famous predator on Earth learned what it feels like to be the prey. The most famous predator in Earth history, retreating, not from a bigger predator, not from a smarter predator, from a creature with no teeth, with no speed, with nothing but 8 tons of armor and a tail. And it walked away, the T-Rex, limping, the Ankylosaurus already back to grazing, before the T-Rex cleared the horizon. The battle, 4 seconds, the lesson, permanent, not a single wound, not a single broken plate. The armor functioned exactly as 66 million years of evolution designed it to function. The victory wasn't dramatic, it was inevitable. These marks, T-Rex teeth on Ankylosaurus armor, the battle preserved in bone for 66 million years. The armor took the attack, the armor held, the armor survived. We know, because the armor is still here. Even young T-Rex learned this lesson, the circling, the calculating, and then, the moment the tail club made one slow arc, the young predator stopped. Some lessons require no contact. The night ambush. T-Rex approached in the darkness, believing darkness changes something. It doesn't. 5-inch bone embedded in skin does not require daylight to function. The only creature in Hell Creek that posed a real threat to an Ankylosaurus was another Ankylosaurus. The Tail Club duel, two weapons that understand each other perfectly. Five raptors, intelligent, fast, coordinated, completely ignored. The Ankylosaurus did not even pause its grazing. Some threats are beneath the threshold of response. Two of the most defensively capable creatures in Hell Creek at the same river crossing, neither willing to yield. A standoff between two forms of invulnerability, resolved not by combat but by geometry. One went around. Every predator in Hell Creek learned the same lesson, at different costs, in different moments. But the lesson, identical. Some creatures are not prey. Some creatures are simply off the menu, forever. T-Rex, Ankylosaurus, same landscape, same afternoon, same ancient sun, two completely different answers to the same question. How do you survive the most dangerous 4 square miles on Earth? Three kingdoms, the land, T-Rex, the sky, Quetzalcoatlus, the armor, Ankylosaurus, three completely different evolutionary strategies, three apex positions, one world, 66 million years ago, the same afternoon. The same ancient river, every creature needing the same water, the armored, the swift, the enormous, the flying, all sharing, all coexisting, because the river belongs to no one and to everyone. The last light of 66 million years ago, every creature of the Hell Creek world, in the same sky, in the same light, in the same moment, all of them unaware, all of them magnificent. The dawn light hitting the armor, every plate, every spike, every osteoderm, blazing. 66 million years of evolution, illuminated by the first light of a perfect ancient day. This is what 66 million years of evolution looks like. Not the speed of the predator, not the size of the giant. This, the armor, in the light, perfect. The armor reflected in the still water. Above, the most defended creature in Earth history. Below, its perfect mirror. Both equally real, both equally invulnerable. The ancient world showing us its most perfect thing, from two directions simultaneously. Morning dew on 5-inch bone plates, the most armored surface in Earth history, covered in the most fragile drops of water on Earth. The contrast the armor never noticed. The dew, the armor was far too vast to care about. The most beautiful day, the most perfect world, the creature at the peak of its existence, not knowing, not able to know, that this particular afternoon was the last perfect one, ever. Half the world blazing golden light, half the world approaching storm, the creature at the exact boundary. For the Ankylosaurus neither mattered. Storm, sunlight, predator, rival, the armor answers all of them the same way. The defining silhouette of the Cretaceous world, not the T-Rex, not the long neck, this, the wide flat body, the shoulder spike outline, the tail club oval, against the sunset, the armor against the sky, the most beautiful prehistoric silhouette ever seen. The most normal afternoon in 66 million years of Hell Creek history. Nothing different, nothing wrong, nothing to warn any creature that this was the last completely normal day the world would ever have. And then, a second sun on the horizon, 2,000 miles away, the Chicxulub impact, the armor working perfectly, for the first time, facing something it was not built for. The shockwave, the first time in its entire life, this creature was moved by an external force, 8 tons, pushed sideways. The armor, engaged immediately, defensive crouch, ready position, preparing to fight what it cannot fight. The sky on fire, the armor deflecting fragments as it always deflected everything, still working, perfectly, but the threat wasn't the fragments, the threat was what came after. Everything changed, except the armor, every plate intact, every spike perfect, every osteoderm in its precise position, the world failing around absolute perfection. One final swing, 360 megapascals available, ready, but the impact winter cannot be swung at. The food chain cannot be defeated with a tail club. Some enemies have no body to hit. Still here, in the dark, still breathing, still perfect, still armored, the world ended, the armor unchanged, the armor is always the last thing. Time, pressing down, layer by layer, 66 million years of sediment above the armor unchanged below, waiting, the stone more patient than any predator that ever lived. 1906, Barnum Brown, American Museum of Natural History, a field expedition to Hell Creek, Montana, a fossil, and a realization that the most armored creature in Earth history had been sleeping in this rock since before humans existed. Still here, the tail club, the weapon that broke T-Rex 66 million years in stone, and still the most recognizable weapon in natural history. And now it stands again, in a museum, 30 feet, 8 tons, complete armor, surrounded by the one thing it never encountered in 66 million years of living, people who came to see it, specifically, on purpose. Victoria Arbour, 2009. She took the tail club fossil, the force equations, and the biomechanical models, and she answered the question. 360 megapascals, the armor's weapon, finally measured, finally proven. Scientists, still digging, still finding, still learning what this creature was capable of. 66 million years later, the armor is still telling us its story, one fossil at a time. This is why it matters. Not the force calculation,
Whoa.
not the fossil evidence. This one child
So
pointing at a
big.
tail club that broke T-Rex and understanding, for the first time, that something extraordinary actually lived. From 1906 to today, 120 years of science asking the same question: what was this creature actually capable of? The armor gave us the bones. The scientists gave us the answers. Together, the complete story. And then, the fossil became the creature. The stone became the skin. The amber gray became the living green. The armor, alive again, for one last impossible moment. Back in the Hell Creek Formation world, the ancient vegetation, the ancient rivers, the ancient sky, and the armor grazing, as if 66 million years were simply a very long dust bath. The final walk through the most beautiful golden hour the ancient world has ever produced, every armor plate blazing, the tail club swinging, the tank walking, as it always walked, as it always was. This, the armor, in the light, this single image, contains everything the creature ever was. Every battle survived, every predator turned away, every perfect day under the ancient sun. This image, the armor remembers. One final swing, the most perfect swing in the history of this creature. 360 megapascals, available, ready, not for battle, for farewell. Still walking, growing smaller in the frame, but the silhouette, the armor silhouette, recognizable to the very last moment. The wide body, the shoulder spikes, the tail club oval, readable even at the horizon. Still the king. The armor remembers 66 million years of battles won, 66 million years of predators turned away, 66 million years of the most defended creature that has ever walked this earth. The armor remembers. The armor will always remember.